Goa, a place of celebration where cultures from the east meets the west, a land where the sun, the sea and the sand create magic, where an enchanting brew of history filters down to an engaging culture, where creative minds dance to the flow of the shores like the TSC, where, be it rain or shine, the energy on the streets never die, where there is a delicious platter for both your soul and your palate. And finally, Goa is the land where quality finds a natural expression, where aesthetics are defined. As Goa gears up for the 49th International Film Festival of India, here is your invite to be a part of a journey of celebrating the joy of cinema and filmmaking.
And to present the memento to Shri Anil Kapoor ji as a token of love and appreciation. And also to gorgeous and the lovely daughter, Riya Kapoor.
Hi everyone. So I'm really happy to be here. We're both really happy to be here in Goa for IFFI. And I've actually never interviewed my father, so this will be the first time. I am his second daughter. Sonam is my elder sister. She's older. Who's waving? And Harsh is my younger brother, just for people who don't know who I am. And basically, I'm the only child in the family that's not an actor. I'm a producer. I make films. My father is technically my boss, and he is a great boss. But the other thing that I feel, first of all, he's a fantastic father. Then second, he's a great boss. And for me, third, he is iconic in his creative career as an artist and as an actor. And this is what we're here to talk about. So Dad, so basically I want to start with a very key question, because I feel, you know, all my siblings and my cousins, and I see them going through this entire process of turning into an artist from a baby, you know. And I just want to know, knowing what you want to do with the rest of your life, knowing your craft, knowing this is what I want to do, this is what I want to be obsessed with. It's like falling in love, isn't it? And this is the question that everyone asks before they get married, before they decide to take it to the next step. How do you know? How do you know when it's right? How do you know that this is what you want to do for the rest of your life? How did you know acting was the love of your life, besides my mother?
Good evening, friends. It's absolutely wonderful to be here, looking at you all, and the kind of love and welcome you all gave both of us was really, really fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. From the time I've walked the red carpet, it's been absolutely terrific. And once again, thank you so much. So my daughter asked me. See, for me, it was absolutely very, very easy, to be honest with you. From the time I came into my senses, I just wanted to be an actor. So there was no confusion. So it was like a horse with blinkers on. I just wanted to be an actor from the time I came to my senses. As a matter of fact, when I came into my senses, I was very, very fortunate that there was a friend of mine who was in my class when I was in, I think, 5th or 6th standard. So I must be, what, 9, 10, 11 years old. And then his father asked me, I said, there's a role of young Shashi Kapoor, and would you be interested? I said, 100%. Done. So there was an audition. I went to Rooptara Studios, a studio which is in Dadar, without really taking permission from my parents. I landed over there, and I was selected for the role of playing Junior Shashi Kapoor. So for me, it's been very, very clear. I met my brother, all of them, and the friends who went. There's always been कि मैं engineer बनना चाहता हूँ, मैं doctor बनना चाहता हूँ, मैं director बनना चाहता हूँ, मैं editor बनना चाहता हूँ, मैं ये बनना चाहता हूँ, वो बनना चाहता हूँ. And then ultimately they land up doing exactly what they really were not. They were just trying to find themselves. But for me, I was fortunate that From the time I came into my senses, I was very, very clear that I want to be an actor. So I didn't waste any time, and I've not wasted time from the time I really thought of being an actor. So I have constantly just dreamt, worked on myself, worked on my craft, worked on being a people's person. And so it's been work in progress, and I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning, understanding from all of you all, from you, so that's what it is. So for me, it has been exactly, but to be honest with you, everything what I've done is with instinct, complete instinct. And
I want to understand also, sorry to interrupt you, but I want to...
Please interrupt me because, because I'm a kind of person, I just hog the limelight, yeah.
And I'm the kind of person that will give it. So what I'm saying is that I want to understand, and this is a lot of young people want to know this, we all have crazy dreams, especially in this generation. You want to do everything. You want to do 30 things at once. You think that you can be queen and king of the world. You think that if you're going to be a movie star, you're going to be Meryl Streep. And if you're going to be an action star, you're going to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And if you're going to be an amazing singer, you're going to become Arijit Singh, And how do you... There is also this thing of talent and ability that comes in between, which is that a lot of people want to be a lot of things. So how do you remain objective about yourself? I think this is something that you and I think that's what your and my relationship was really built on, because I was Anil Kapoor's daughter, everybody thought automatically that ye to heroine banegi, And when I went to film school and theatre school, I didn't know what I wanted to be, I had no idea. I thought something, but now I know because I'm 30 and I'm older, what it actually feels to want something, And at that time I didn't know. And then I remember when I came back from college, when I was 20, 21, and you and I were having conversations about it, you and your conversations with me made me realize that I don't really know my calling yet. And I don't really know my talents yet. And I don't really know my abilities yet. And I remember I met Ayan Mukherjee, the director of Wake Up Sid, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. The month I came back from college, and he said to me, he said, come and work on my film. And it was a very casual conversation, and I landed up there. My first day on that set, and I knew, I was like, I will never become an actor. I was like, there is no way. And I knew in my heart that I wanted to do it, but I wanted to do it from beginning to end, and then production just happened. But for a lot of people that, they don't have that kind of access. I know how lucky I am. I'm saying for people, like when you try to become an actor, right? There was no experienced hero or producer or director giving you advice and talking to you and being there for you. So how do you decide that, okay, I want to be an actor or I want to be a singer, but do I have it? Do I have what it takes? Do I chase another dream? Am I wasting my time? And I've seen you do it. You're objective about yourself. You understand your limitations. You push them, but you get it. You know that, okay, this is a time to shift gears, or this is a time for me to try something else, and this is the time for me to take a risk or not. And I think that it begins with knowing who you are and knowing what you're capable of. So how do you do that? How do you have a perspective on yourself?
See, it depends on person to person. I think, every kid, every person has a different kind of a journey. There are certain kids who have a self-realization, they discover themselves. There are certain kids who are groomed by their parents. The parents groom them from childhood, like, Serena Williams and, the Williams sisters in sports. There are certain actors now, these days in films, you can see that parents are grooming them from the time they're born. From 3-5-6 साल के होते हैं, और जब से मुझे अब लगता है पता चलता है कि अभी इन्होंने grooming करना शुरू कर दिया है. But and there are certain youngsters or students or anybody that where a teacher or a guru mentors them and sees this certain kind of a spark. Like for example, when Sonam came back from Singapore after she was in university over there in Singapore, she came back. She joined Sanjay Leela Bhansali, and she said I want to become a director. And she worked for Black and all. But Bhansali, to a certain extent, saw the actress in her, and he felt that she has that kind of a presence, that kind of persona, and that kind of because even I knew that there is something about her which can make her into, an actor. But I didn't want to say it because I wanted her to find herself. I didn't want to push her. And I knew that this journey is a very, very tough journey. So for me, it was fine, whatever makes her happy. That's been my way, and me and my wife, that whatever makes my children, the children happy, they should do. So somewhere Bansali, I think, saw, and that's the time she said that Bansali wants to launch me. And sometimes these things happen, that there are, certain,
like you faced a lot of rejection, but you still were I think I can do this.
Initially, yes, I did face a lot of, matter of fact, my first rejection where I really cried a lot was when I failed in my acting examination. I was supposed to be, I wanted to go to Pune Institute. I tried my best. I came to know that there is a written examination. There's acting courses. They've abolished the acting course and they started the 3-year cinema course. So there is a kind of from an academic written examination which I was supposed to go. So I went and and I failed in that written examination. And I landed up in Pune Institute meeting Girish Karnad. I said, what is, academic being, to do with acting? I can act in front of you. I can, do whatever you want, but why have you failed me? I'm desperate, to be in Pune Institute because I can, I know the kind of, it's a great institute and students who have been part of Pune Institute, like Jaya Bachchan and Shabana Azmi, Nasruddin Shah, Om Pur, all of them Pune Institute. But I never got the opportunity. They rejected me. And I failed in an examination, but that never really, for a few hours, for a day or two, I was very, very depressed. I almost cried. I remember we had this sofa, which was a bed cum sofa, so I used to face not this side, inside the sofa and cry. That why this? So these kind of rejections happened.
But initially. I can't even imagine because I saw an old picture of you. Remember Sanjay Chachu and I? So my Chachu and I were looking at old pictures and we saw this old, and at that time, all the heroes were like buff and like super, clean cut and like, they look like action stars and all. And I remember we were having dinner together and Sanjay Chachu saw a picture of you, very skinny, very hairy, with a muchi. And he said, Anil, with this looks, you thought you'd become a hero, you had guts.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, what happens is sometimes you are yourself very deluded about yourself. आपको ऐसा लगता है कि मैं थोड़ी किसी से कम हूँ, हम किसी से कम नहीं, It's the others who feel. So whenever I would go anywhere, they said, you're too skinny, your eyes are too small, you're too hairy, you look too young. That's one of the reasons that I have this stubble. Actually, the stubble started because I used to look like a kid. So I said, तो मैंने दाढ़ी वाड़ी हुआ कि थोड़ा सा मैं macho हो जाऊँगा, I might get these kind of roles which Bachchan Saab is doing or Dharamji is doing, these kind of people are doing. So that's the reason I had this stubble, and the stubble has got stuck to me, and now every actor has got a stubble. So that's my contribution. So these rejections actually really, I think, helped me. A lot of auditions, a lot of films I did. I tried to, GPCPs. I went to each and every office to get work and all, and obviously then ultimately I started doing bit roles. I did bit roles in Hamare Tumhare in 1977, and then then I did Ek Baar Kaho, then I did a bit role in Shakti. I did 1 or 2 films which I don't think so you all even remember, like films that even you don't know about these films.
I don't watch your films at all.
Yep, but
I get embarrassed. I'm like, that's my dad. I'm not doing that.
So those films, then ultimately I think my, to be honest, the kind of recognition or acceptance was Wo Saath Din, which was in 1983. Yeah.
Okay, cool. The other thing that I really wanted to understand is that, nowadays people, and this is about, getting into the groove of now saying that, okay, acting is now my profession and I'm going to do this for work. Like I'm going to do this and I'm going to try to make a living out of it. So, like any other profession, you go to school for it, you train for it, you figure out, how to make sure that you are a professional actor so that on demand, you can deliver. Now, obviously, there's a huge framework. You can go for undergrad, you can go for courses, you can do this and you can do that. But I know that you are someone that still to this date studies for each film. But at that time, besides Pune Institute, maybe 1 or 2 things, there wasn't really a cut way. And a lot of it, like you said, went on instinct and spontaneity. how important do you think both are, like versus each other? Do you think that over studying it or becoming over theoretical about it can sort of make you deluded that just because I've done this I can have talent? Or do you think that it should be a mix, you know?
See, for me initially, of course, it was energy and instinct. At that time, energy was more, instinct was there, so it was like 70% energy, 30% instinct, 40% instinct. Then it became 60% instinct, 40% instinct. I was very eager, very over enthusiastic, with a lot of energy. So, you know, and I would feel that I'm giving a subtext to my characters. But slowly I understood, I calmed myself down when I was very sure. Because you see, I have to, you know, look after the family. I have to look after...
You're saying that now you're calm.
No, compared to what I was, so you don't know how I was. So you see what happens, people like us, people like who have started where they have to look after their family, their wife, you know, the kitchen chalna chahiye na. Am I right or wrong? So uske liye kabhi there are certain decisions which were taken and I just wanted a job, so I had no choice. So I never chose a film. The characters in the films, they chose me. And I was always grateful that मुझे camera के सामने जाने का मौका मिलता है. So slowly, steadily, these things change. But to a certain extent, I constantly felt that I'm not good enough. I still feel I'm not good enough. So that insecurity kept on making me work harder and harder. And especially when I see all the actors all over the world, the kind of effort they put in, the kind of work they put in, the kind of, you know, they are from great institutes like, you know, in London, they do theatre, they do musicals, they're trained dancers, they're trained singers, they're trained actors, America, great institutes and all, but here also it is happening. But we still, I feel somewhere, definitely the people say that we work very hard, I work very hard, but I am nothing compared to kind of hard work and dedication they put in the foundation. The foundation is great, especially for actors and technicians and writers and whoever over here are there, because not everything is going to be on a global stage, you know, on a global stage. So I think the prep and being the, you know, if you have that kind of academic and what else did you say? The
theoretical knowledge.
Theoretical. Pronunciation मेरा ठीक है ना? Theoretical. Yeah,
theoretical. No, but Papa, what I want to understand is, like today, if you...
It should be a combination of that. Theoretical and to something, what you all have to take from us is the instinct.
Yeah.
You know, the instinct. And sometimes, you know, you have to go with it. Everything cannot be, study it, analyze it, plan it, think too much about it, brood over it, take days and months.
Because we all know in our hearts what is right.
Yeah, what is right. So you all sometimes take too much time. We sometimes, you know, I used to go quick decisions, you know. Instinctively, I would know this is right or wrong. So sometimes I would go right, sometimes, you know, I was ready to fail. You know, I was ready to fail. I'm still ready to fail. I'm ready to be, you know, to a certain extent, you know, that people say that picture iski flop ho gayi hai, bahut, you know, people make fun of the films. It's okay. I know I'm going to, you know, work even more harder when there is a kind of a failure which comes in my career. You know, I work harder and I try to make myself better. I work even harder. So I feel you should take that kind of chance. It doesn't matter. I know these days it's become much more trickier. The stakes are much higher than what they were earlier, because we used to do 4 to 5 films in a year. You know, I was still called choosy just doing 4 films in a year. And now people do 1 film in 2 years, 3 years. When are you going to do your next film?
When am I going to do my next film? When you approve the script. No, I'll do it next year now. I'll try to do 2 films next year.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Just be nice to me.
Yes, I will.
So, coming from that, 2 questions from that answer. One question is, just to get really specific about it, if the actor or the actress today has the time, say they have 2 years and they know that I want to be an actor, what are the specific skills you think in Bollywood they should acquire, they should work on? You know, because I know in today's day and age, like people like Ranbir Kapoor, Ranbir has a crazy amount of study under his belt. You know, I don't think people realize it as much. I mean, he does everything from break dancing to tap dancing. He understands miming. He's been to at least 2 theatre schools, you know. And I think that maybe it doesn't help directly, but at some level, of course, it's helping him become a better and better actor every year, you know. A lot of people don't, like Sonam, for example, she was an AD. And then Bansali was like, I want you to do my next film. So she basically went to the Bansali School of Acting, you know. So everyone trains in different ways, but a lot of actors and a lot of young people today, they know. Like, I know my cousins and all at 16, 15, they were clear that I want to be an actor, you know. So and young girls and boys ask me that all the time, that if there are some classes or some course or something that I need to take and something that I should have in my back pocket at all times that will help me be a better artist and help me be better on my feet, what would that be?
I feel there are no shortcuts, first of all, and you know, acting is like an ocean, and we all need tools. So what are our tools? Our tools are our physicality, our intelligence, our senses, and how do you sharpen that? So you constantly have to work on that. So it can be music, it can be dancing, it can be miming, it can be singing. Like for example, when I was doing, I always knew that I wanted to be an actor, but I still, you know, I said, let me learn singing, you know. So I did semi-classical singing. So kahin na kahin jab maine ye filmein ki, so I could really mouth sync my song. There are so many actors who still cannot mouth sing, because I used to actually sing when I would sing. There was a playback singer who would do it, but I would actually sing. But that really helped me because I had learned how to sing. Then I did movement, you know, movement in my class, which is also very much, is a physicality, then knowing themselves. But yes, I 100% I believe and I am convinced about is that if you're a trained actor in today's time, you should be a trained actor. You should be a trained actor, because there's, you know, to certain extent, if you're a trained actor, it becomes very, very easy for the filmmaker and the director to really mold you, and you are available to that director and the writer to mold you the way he wants. So you should try your best to do exactly whatever can help you and whatever you can. So keep on, it's like a learning process throughout your life. So it is good that there are certain actors who from the beginning have, you know, have trained themselves. Obviously now these days there are a lot of, you know, time has been given to the physicality and the external looks for an actor. But I feel that somewhere I said that is slightly tilted more towards the way they look, rather than trying to become a better actor and learning the craft, doing theatre, doing scenes, doing training, you know, and having workshops. You know, I think that will be even better. I feel that sometimes, you know, focusing too much on looks and the way you look can somewhere, I think, stagnate you, and you might, to a certain extent, a time will come where you will have nothing inside left to give to the audience, to the director, to the writer, to the role. So you have to travel, you have to read, you have to watch as many films, you have to observe, you have to take a break, you have to, you know, there are so many things which can help you to become a better actor. It's a process which is an ongoing process which you can keep on doing it till your dying day. I feel you can really improve yourself as much as you can. There is, of course, like in sports and in acting, there is a shelf life. But you should try your best to increase your shelf life as much as you can. You know, and that you can do only with keeping yourself fit, mentally, physically, spiritually.
Being an actor is really grueling on the body. I agree with you that you shouldn't focus too much on your... and this is something that I mean, at least when any young girl, whoever the few are, ask me about becoming an actor, I always say that, look, actresses and movie stars abroad don't try to look like reality stars. You're beautiful anyway. Work on your craft and work on your talent. And I mean, today I'm a stylist. I know incredible makeup artists, trainers. We have so many talented people. And when you have the right project and when you are successful, you will look amazing. It just takes effort, you know. But fitness and being healthy and being useful, that's a really important thing. So how do you, now you're what? You're going to be 62 this year.
Yeah, I'll be 62 on December 24th. Yeah. You're happy or what? So, no. You see, I feel, you know, when I started my career, obviously everybody felt that I'm an actor, but I don't have the looks, okay? And they felt that, you know, there was Sanjay Dutt, there was Jackie Shaw, there was Sunny Deol, so they were all great looking. There was Dharmender, they were all great looking guys, and, you know, Mithun and physicality. They felt कि यार इसको acting अच्छी आती है, इसके looks नहीं है, you know, he doesn't have the looks, he doesn't have the presence, he doesn't have the personality. And now somewhere everything is changing, because I felt, you know, I to a certain extent, you know, I worked towards my physicality, because I need that strength, the energy, the stamina to, you know, to portray all the characters. And in trying to get that stamina, trying to maintain and trying to have the energy to be in front of the camera, I started looking after myself. I started working out. I started exercising. It's like a car, as my trainer was here, and we have this guru who always, Mr. Mark, and there's a, who always said that we are like, how you service your car. If you don't look after it, if you put a bad petrol, and if you don't clean the, all the stuff, and if you don't polish it, you don't look after it, and you, obviously it'll become like a khatara. So same is with us, we as actors, we as bodies, you have to look after yourselves. There are certain cars which look as if they are brand new cars. It can be a old Rolls Royce or an old, Ambassador or a Fiat or a Dodge or a Chevrolet. And if you see them, they look so fantastic because the owner has really looked after it. So that's the way we should also do to our bodies and to our soul. We have to keep on looking after it, servicing it. And for an actor, it is, you see, for me, if you have a business or your office, you have so many people to look after you, and the business will still go on. The legacy goes on. Tatas, Birlas, their children, their grandchildren. They can pass on the legacy. But for me as an actor, I have this only one lifetime. I have to look after myself. I have to be fit enough to do as much characters, as much roles, fit enough so that when I'm on the set, I have the energy to fit, because it needs energy, it needs that effort. So I have to look after myself. So that's what I've done, so that I can keep on. Longevity. I believed in marathon. I was never for a 100-meter dash. कि यार 5 साल 6 साल बहुत बड़ा स्टार हो और you are faded away, or 10 years or 15 years. I've been in this business for 38 years now, And so I think for me I think the reason is because I was consistent, I was committed, I worked hard, and I was never deluded about myself. I worked with good directors. I always surround myself where I listen more than I talk. I listen to them, I learn from them. And I feel today, time has come that we ask, all of them sitting over here, if they want to ask us any questions or ask me any questions.
Yeah, sure. I have a last question.
Last question. Okay, cool.
I mean, it's not last, but last before I open up the question, because I said I had 2 questions from the last answer you gave me, and one thing.
Did I answer your question or no?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You basically just said work your ass off.
Yes, absolutely.
What I'm saying is that...
Yeah, there is no substitute to hard work. There is no substitute. Yes, luck is there. हमेशा बच्चे लोग हमेशा बोलते हैं everybody says कि हर माँ बाप ये चाहता है कि मेरा बेटा मेरी बेटी मेरे जो भी जिनको मैं चाहता हूँ वो होनहार हो, talented हो, मगर most important कि उसके साथ साथ थोड़ा नसीब वाला भी हो. Nasiब is also very, very important. So it's a combination of everything, but you just can't depend on Naseeb if you don't work hard. It's very, very rare people. You can change your Naseeb with dedication, with hard work, with preparation, with consistency, with, just become miserable, like work like a dog, जैसे बोलते हैं कुत्ते माफिक काम करो. I love dogs, so.
Okay, so my question actually was, when people interview you, they only ask you about like happy stuff and how are you so young and good looking and all. But I know for a fact that a lot of your strength comes from dealing with bad stuff in the most positive way. Like my first movie, when I made my first movie, I was 21 years old and I just was thrown into it. And I tried to do my best, but when you're young, you have stars in your eyes and you think, of course, it's my movie, it's going to be a blockbuster, it's going to be a super hit and whatever. And the movie did okay, it didn't do badly, it didn't do great, but because Aisha was a movie about young girls and she was a young girl who was pretty and this and that, a lot of people made fun of it, and they made fun of me and they made fun of Sonam. And, you were the one that told me at that time, you're like, you don't understand what this film is going to do for you. You don't understand that if you stay on this path, what you can do. And I remember I went into depression after the film because I was like, nobody gets me, nobody understands me, nobody understands what we're trying to do, and everyone thinks that just because someone wears pretty clothes or whatever that they're stupid. And I just didn't want my sister or me to be ever called stupid because I know myself. I'm an intelligent, hardworking, capable girl, that was raised by you and my mother. And I just didn't know how to deal with that. I didn't know how to deal with the failure. And I mean, to me at least, like for me, Aisha not being the biggest film ever was like what happened. Because you're so young, you don't understand. But you were the one that said this to me. And now I actually understood what you meant the day Veere the Wedding released. I was like, oh my God, this is the girls, the audience that has been building up for so many years. And this is the demographic. But how do you do that? How do you show such strength in failure? And what I wanted to ask you as a specific question is, I know that successes teach us a lot, but which flop of yours has taught you the most?
You see, I have constantly studied a lot of, I keep on studying other actors, you know, their careers, their lives, Hollywood, India. I read their old interviews, I go and read old reviews sometimes. And I am totally surprised. Even a great Dilip Kumar also, in our first initial stages, didn't get very favorable reviews. Madhuri Dixit, for so many years, you know, initially, they said, they used to come on the set and say, isko behan ke role mein lo, you know. You know, she's good for a sister's role. And she became the Daktak girl, you know. So, they told, you know, मुझे बोला कि इसको ये acting में अच्छा है, इसको looks नहीं है. ये actor है, star कभी बन नहीं सकता, you know. So you have to believe in yourself. And, you know, so you know, to a certain extent, all these things I had in mind. Even a Salman Khan or a Shah Rukh Khan, all these, they have gone through a lot of things. They are, you know, कि इनको ये आता है, उनको ये आता है ना, उनकी acting ये है, उनका ये है, वो ऐसा करता है, वैसा करता है. अरे, but they hold your attention. They hold your attention on screen. That is the reason they are such huge stars for so many years. There is something which is charismatic. They do something right. So that's very, very important. There are times when people will keep on saying, I kept on giving you examples of so many of the actors. I didn't want to give example of myself, but the other actors, other actresses, even a Meryl Streep, initially, it took really a lot of time for her to become what she became. Initially, if you see her career, and to some extent, somewhere, I think it was a film before Kramer vs. Kramer, but Kramer vs. Kramer was the film which really, you know, put her in that kind of thing until today. She is the best actress, known as the best actress in the world. But if you see when she started, so many of them. So, you know, that's what happens. Initially, you have to go through it because people, you know, it takes time for people to really accept you. There are certain actors and actresses who start with a bang. The first film only, it becomes a big hit. And they're known as great actors, fantastic. But I feel slow and steady is always the best way. Beginning के थोड़े झटके लगेंगे तो better ही है. It makes you even more stronger. And no pain, no gain. So initially when I saw you, when people were saying कि कपड़े, अरे भैया script ही ऐसी है. It's all about, the whole story is such, but people didn't wanted to run it down. They want to run you down because you're my daughter, Sonam is my daughter. So that it makes good copy, you know, for everybody, you know, to talk. So these things happen. So fortunately I was there to tell you all कि कुछ नहीं यार, ये सब change हो जाएंगे. The same people are going to change. And it happens. And it will happen in all of you over here. It must have happened with you all also. What they felt about you and what they feel about you. Little bit of, you can't bog down, you know, you can't just completely take them seriously. You can't take them seriously. You have to take criticism which were genuine people. Your own family, your people who are very genuine, they are the right people who tell you okay, what is right and what is wrong. And like, Mom is always there to tell me.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, she's always there to tell us, you know, don't get
carried away.
It's a bad film, bad performance. You
yeah.
know? And there are certain friends who come and tell you honestly. So you have to surround yourself with the right people who will tell you exactly and what is right and what is wrong. And slowly and steadily you build and work harder and harder and move on. You know, what I've learned from Dev Anand, and so many of the actors, you know, they would never look back. They always look ahead. Just look ahead. Ye ho gaya, kaam ho gaya, next. Go into your next project. And once you start working, then you don't feel, because work is the most important thing. If you're depressed, you work. If you're sick, you work. If you're, if you're feeling anything what you're going through, if you work, you'll forget about it. Just keep on working, and that's what I believe in.
But that's what you do every release. I mean, it's shocking. Whether means the whole industry works in a certain way, right? I mean, this is some like insider stuff. the Friday or the Thursday. First Thursday, everyone goes insane. Advance booking kya hai, advance booking kya hai. We were never brought up in a house like this. My mother is a Sindhi banker's daughter and she hates anything filmy. So we were never introduced to any of this. But now that I'm a producer, I started understanding. They're like, advance booking kya hai? And then on Friday, everybody loses their minds, you know, and everyone's like, number kya hai? What's the number? Give me the number. And you go to my dad's room and he'll be like, chalo, aage badho, move on, aage badho. I'm like, but don't you care? He's like, nahi, ho gaya, khatam ho gaya. Next.
If it is good, if it is a successful, you'll come to know about it. Don't, you know, waste your time. Just move on and go on to your next project. Next thing, what you want to do, prep for it. And obviously that will distract you, that will motivate you, you will feel passionate. If it does well, well and good. If it doesn't do well, you're on to your next. That's what I've done, yeah.
So, should we take some questions? Okay.
जी, my name is Chintan.
Hi Chintan.
मेरा सवाल सर आपसे है कि मेरा सवाल मिस्टर इंडिया से है कि मेरे और मेरे एज के सभी लोगों का फर्स्ट सुपर हीरो मिस्टर इंडिया रहा है और आज के एज का सुपर हीरो हम बैटमैन, सुपरमैन, आयरन मैन को देखते हैं क्योंकि वो कंटिन्यूसली उनकी मूवियाँ लाते रहते हैं तो वो उनके बीच में बहुत फेमस है। तो आप मिस्टर इंडिया को कहाँ देखते हैं और क्या हमें मिस्टर इंडिया जैसे कैरेक्टर को एक और बार फिर स्क्रीन पर उतारना चाहिए कि दुनिया देख सके हमारे पास भी एक सुपर हीरो है?
Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely, Hindi filmon mein, that is one of the first films which was, you know, a kind of a superhero film. And matter of fact, I've done this, you know, Mowgli जो अभी रिलीज होने वाली December 7 को जिसको you know बल्लू के लिए मैंने अपनी आवाज़ दी है तो उसी तरह kind of a voice given to Mr. India also. So that was also my first. The film became a big success and it was, you know, first of its kind. उसके बाद तो दूसरी फिल्में भी हुई हैं जैसे अंग्रेजी फिल्म वगैरह मगर ये इस किस्म की फिल्में पहले वहाँ बन चुकी हैं इंटरनेशनली तो मैं पूरा क्रेडिट और हम पूरा क्रेडिट लेना नहीं चाहेंगे कि यू नो सुपर हीरो की फिल्में वहाँ बन चुकी थी और इनविजिबल मैन पर भी फिल्म बन चुकी थी वहाँ इंटरनेशनली बट हिंदुस्तान में डेफिनेटली वी गेव अ काइंड ऑफ इट वाज एन ओरिजिनल बट समवेयर मैं ये कहूँगा कि वहाँ ऐसी फिल्में पहले बन चुकी थी और एंड उसके बाद obviously the technology and the Marvel movies have taken it to a different level because technology has improved so much. So now is the right time to really make a great superhero film. I think if we, you know, if someone can come out, or you can come out, or anybody can come out with a great script, I would love to, you know, make a, you know, film better than Mr. India. Why not?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Myself, Raunak. I am your big fan. So, sir, I want to ask you one question. What are the changes in acting skill from your first film, Hamare Tumhare, to the Fanne Khan? Means, how has been acting evolved from 1980s to 2018?
दोनों अच्छी फिल्मों का नाम लिया, दोनों नहीं चली।
सर, लेकिन हमारे लिए तो स्टार तब से ही बन गए थे आप।
हाँ, क्या बात है? अच्छा, ठीक है। You see, the thing is, as I said, you know, you take हर 5 साल, 10 साल, 3 साल, 4 साल के बाद, you keep on changing your whole attitude, your growth, you reinvent, you rethink, and it depends on your what financial situation you are in, what mental situation you are in, a career point, professionally, personally, emotionally, what kind of situation you are in, and that way you keep on evolving as a human being, as a person. Like for example, when I was 40 years old, there are certain roles which won't come to me. I can't do a 20-year-old guy. So you have to be sensible enough to do roles, and you have to think of roles which will suit me when I'm 40. Then when I was 50, when I was 35, when I was 40, when I'm 50, 55, when I'm now 60, you know, I'm 62. So I have to think about, there are so many times, so life goes on. So you have to reinvent, you have to rethink, you have to reevaluate yourself, and look out for roles, because ये सारे रोल जो पहले मैं करता था वो तो मेरे को अभी रोल अभी मैं कर नहीं सकूंगा तो मगर इतने ज़्यादा रोल है उसके बाद भी करने जो मैं कर सकता हूँ. So that way I kept on changing and my thinking changes, my choice of film changes, and even the filmmakers and directors, the younger ones, if there are any, they would, you know, think if that's the way they want me to be in a film. Like for example, Zoya approached me for Dil Dhadakne Do, and you know, and she was convinced that I can pull off that role, and you know, I was fortunate that I said yes to the film after a lot of her persuasion, and the film really was a very, you know, a film people still till today people love the film. So you keep on changing, and certain films, you know, that's the way I have been. So that way it has been changing, and otherwise also to a certain extent, the whole approach of all the young actors also is completely more real. If you see the films, people want to see entertaining films, people want to see commercial films also, but the pitching and the performances have to be a little more real. It cannot be completely bizarre and illogical, you know, those kind of films which earlier I used to do, like Rakhwala and Insaf Ki Awaaz, and you know, वो सब फिल्में अभी मैं करूँगा और दूसरे लोग करेंगे तो they will be rejected. The people want films which are a little more sensible, little more understated, the performances, little more real, more relatable, youngsters. You know, so you have to keep on working with those kind of filmmakers, writing those kind of scripts, and you know, preparation. People want to, you know, they want everything to be very authentic, very real. They like that, you know, the production design, the music, the sound, the photography.
There's more attention to detail.
Yeah, the more attention to detail. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Riya ma'am.
Hi.
Myself Bhakti.
Hi,
I'm
Bhakti.
from Bhopal.
Hi.
First of all, you look stunning as always.
Thanks.
And you are a gentleman, of course. So, I have a question.
Papa, you're a gentleman, not me. I'm not a gentleman.
I have a question for both of you. I would start from Riya ma'am. Have you ever thought, if you were not a daughter of Mr. Anil Kapoor, what career you would have chosen? Like,
you know, it's very funny because I know a lot of people have been talking about, you know, nepotism and all of that stuff. And I do agree, like, I feel that I'm very aware of how blessed I am that my father worked so hard for all of these years so that I could have opportunities, as all our parents try to do. It's not like, you know, my father came from a very wealthy family at all, but he really worked. So what I do really with my films is I try to put energy into making films that maybe other young producers can't make, you know. And so I'm very aware that I am privileged. I'm very aware that I'm lucky. I'm very aware that my father and my mother have made a lot of sacrifices so that I could be, you know, a star kid or whatever they call it. And I'm not blind about it. I know that a lot of people are not in my place, you know, but I'm never going to apologize for how much my parents worked. But it's a funny question because I always think about it. I'm like, but I'm trying to put myself in everybody's shoes and I want to be compassionate, but Anil Kapoor is the only father I've ever had. I've never had any other father. So I am just like, you know, I love my life. I've had an amazing childhood. I have great parents, and because I have such a creative household, I actually have a lot of other interests apart from films. I love interior design. I am obsessed with fashion. I am really, really passionate about anything visual, really. So I see myself, actually, maybe it's a generational thing, but I see myself, even comedy I love, you know. I see myself being interested in many things in the future as well. I love food. I'm obsessed with food. I'd love to open a restaurant at some point. My father will be very upset because he just doesn't, he's not down with my food obsession. He's not okay with it. He wants me to obsess
There's
with
Mr. Jalal over here, you know.
Yeah. Jalal is an honorary member of our family and he encourages it.
Yeah, so
you know.
I keep on pushing him. I said, jaldi kar yaar. नहीं करता हूँ.
But my mom actually.
So that I can sit back and enjoy, you know, go to the restaurant.
Can I talk about my mother?
Like Robert De Niro, you know, Tribeca and the Nobu restaurants, and they'll have the
like
chain.
it when I talk about mom, that's why I say all this.
Yeah.
But basically, my mom actually was a model when she was, actually she wanted to be a lawyer. She was an anchor, but because she paid for all of my dad's headshots and all, she didn't go to law school. And
taxis also, transport.
And taxis and all
and
of that.
gifts and clothes.
But then after that, she just became a face model for some time. She's shorter, she's 5'3". And then she...
5'4".
Yeah, she's 5'3". Anyway, what I'm saying is that she actually became a fashion designer. And she had this really incredible line called Amaya. And she's very, very interested in all things that are fine, you know. And my nanny was like that as well. My nanny used to do the flowers on her own. She used to make her own curtains. My Masi and my mother were never allowed to go to a beauty parlor. My nanny used to do everything at home. And that's how we were really brought up. My Masi's an interior designer. And now my mother's a jewelry designer as well. So there's this whole other side of my family, which I think is in me and Sonam maybe more than the Kapoor side, which is why we are so interested in all these other things, you know. So to answer your questions, there's a lot. There's a lot that I want to do and there's a lot that I will do. But right now, this is my focus and I work for Anil Kapoor Film Company.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to you, sir. I would ask, you did a movie Nayak and you got a role and you played it for the one-day Prime Minister. So I would
Chief Minister.
Chief Minister. So if you get a chance in real life...
Prime Minister bhi karunga.
I would ask if you get a chance to become a Prime Minister, what would be that one thing you would do for India? Being a Mr. India.
We all love our country. We want, first of all, is happiness. For me, peace and happiness is the most important thing. Somewhere, I would say, Gautam Buddha, and of course Ashoka, after the Kalinga War. These are the, people. And, for me, I think just happiness and peace. Of course, I would love my country to be the, superpower and the richest country and all, but I would be happier when people say that, they talk about Bhutan,
Happiest people.
the happiest people. And somewhere I feel that all over the world, people should say that the happiest people live in India. That's my dream. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. My name is...
Ma'am, we'll come back to you. He's just asking a question.
Yeah, I'll definitely answer.
I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, please, do that.
My name is Roshan Raikar. I would like to ask this question in the style of your dialogue. Na engineering, na doctory, na banking. No. मेरा सवाल यह है कि इंडियन पेरेंट्स जो है अपना पैशन फॉलो करने नहीं देते. They want us to follow and either have a secure career. Especially for women, it becomes really difficult to follow their passion, go ahead and then do music or art or acting. So it becomes really, really difficult. So as a part of my responsibility, what I've done is I've started a school of passion. How to help people turn their passion into profession. Thank you so much. Any word of so this becomes my testimonial. Thank you, everybody. Any word of encouragement from your side would help me promote this. And secondly, your message to the parents as well as the youngsters separately, if you could give on how to follow our passion. And also, please guide the parents not to stop us because we really have big dreams and please your
I'm a film person, so I don't believe in giving too many lectures, and I believe in entertainment, and I think the best way to to convey a message, Raj Kapoor always said, entertain and then towards the end give a message. So Three Idiots was a good example. If you see the film, and that's what was done beautifully by Raju Hirani sahab. You have to follow your passion, and ultimately they all follow the passion and they live happily after. And especially for girls, I think it's time is changing, and I think parents should go all out. First of all, they have to first believe that the girls, I believe, are superior to boys. This is my so I totally believe in it, and I've said that all my life, and that's the kind of atmosphere which is there. And in my household, where the girls dominate and rule the home. And once you start believing like that they are special, they are superior, automatically you let them be, you know. And they are so multi-talented. They can do multitasking, and they're so, you know, they're so wonderful and beautiful. I can't imagine the world, you know. The more the women in the world, the better it is. The more the girls, you know. And you know, so it's fantastic. So I think they should be encouraged, and they should be, you know, and you should do whatever. And रोशन, मैं चाहूँगा कि तू अपनी रोशनी ऐसे ही फैलाते रहे बच्चों में।
मेरा नाम नम्रता है, मैं दैनिक जागरण लखनऊ से हूँ। मैं ये देख रही हूँ कि आप 62 के कहीं से भी नहीं नज़र आ रहे हैं। कैसे आप इतना मेंटेन हैं, ये हम जानना चाहते हैं। और मैंने हमेशा देखा कि आपको कभी गुस्सा नहीं आता है, तो आप कैसे कंट्रोल करते हैं अपने गुस्से को? ये सीख हम लोग को भी दीजिए। आप हमेशा मुस्कुराते ही रहते हैं।
सही बात है, मैं बहुत कम, मेरी पत्नी भी यही कहती है, बच्चे भी यही कहते हैं कि मुझे गुस्सा बहुत कम आता है, बहुत कम आता है। बट मैं कंट्रोल करता हूँ डेफिनेटली, बिकॉज आई फील, मैं हमेशा यही सोचता हूँ कि ऊपर वाले ने इतना दिया है। वो जो गाना है ना, बहुत दिया देने वाले ने, आंचल ही ना समाए। सो व्हेन आई थिंक अबाउट कि हाउ ग्रेटफुल आई एम टू the Almighty that we are born on this beautiful earth, you know, and we have this lifetime that we can breathe, we can enjoy, we can have fun, we can have travel, we can eat, we can have the emotion, we have brothers, sisters, mother, brother, कितनी अच्छी अच्छी चीज़ें हैं करने के लिए। तो ये जब मैं सब चीज़ें सोचता हूँ तो अपने आप ही मुझे गुस्सा नहीं आता। मेंटेन ये एक, यू नो, एक छोटी सी भी कहानी है और एक लंबी भी कहानी है। छोटी इसलिए कहानी है कि मैं खुश हूँ, मैं हमेशा खुश रहता हूँ, मैं पॉजिटिव रहता हूँ। कोई भी नेगेटिव चीज़ होती है तो मैं उसको हमेशा, मेरे दोस्त लोग मुझे फ़ोन करते हैं जब डिप्रेस होते हैं। काफ़ी मेरे दोस्त हैं, मेरे यार हैं, फिल्म मेकर्स हैं, डायरेक्टर्स हैं, यार अनिल को फ़ोन करो, वो सलाह कुछ नेगेटिव चीज़ में भी पॉजिटिव कुछ कर देगा। अरे पिक्चर फ्लॉप हो गई, करेक्ट, अच्छा हुआ यार, ये अगर हिट होती ना तो हमको नुकसान होता। ये इससे हम लोगों को क्या होगा कि हम लोगों को सीखने को मिला हम लोगों को। So in anything which is not gone right, I take out the positive in what has not gone right, and I keep on, you know, spreading that and believing in myself. Of course, there is times when I get angry, when I see people not, कि उनको opportunity मिली है, इतनी ज़बरदस्त opportunity मिली है, इतना मौका मिला है, ऊपर वाले ने इतना दिया है, कंपनी ने इतना दिया है, ऑफिस ने इतना दिया है, गवर्नमेंट ने, देश ने, माँ बाप ने, भाइयों ने, दोस्त ने, और आप उसको ठुकरा रहे, वो ठुकरा रहे और मेहनत नहीं करें, काम नहीं करें। तो वो उस टाइम मेरे को गुस्सा आता है, जब ऐसा लगता है कि यार ये क्यों, यार ये 10 घंटे आपको काम करना तो करो ना यार, उसके बाद मज़ा करो ना, यू नो। वो 10 घंटे के अंदर भी काम चोरी करेंगे, काम नहीं करेंगे, तो कभी कभी उससे गुस्सा आता है, यू नो। कभी कभी गुस्सा आता है कि इन लोग लेट उठते हैं, तो सॉरी, तो कभी कभी ऐसा गुस्सा आता है, बट मैं बोलता नहीं हूँ, मैंने अपना भी समझ जाएंगे, यू नो। 2-3 यू नो झटके लगेंगे लाइफ में तो सब ठीक हो जाता है। ये झटके लगना बहुत ज़रूरी है सबकी लाइफ में, फिर सब ठीक हो जाता है। फिर सुबह 5 बजे उठ जाते हैं एकदम, चलो यार दिन
Hi,
Mr. Kapoor, Sanjay Mishra from Nov18 online.
Hi.
Hi. मैं ये पूछ रहा था कि आपने कहा झटके लगना बहुत ज़रूरी है, और अभी आप,
अरे हेलो है, अरे मेरा अपने आँखें अब तक कमज़ोर हुई नहीं है।
अरे बिल्कुल नहीं, ये तो सच में सीखने वाली बात है आप। तो हम अभी बात कर रहे थे, ये आप डिप्रेशन की बात करी थी, फिर हम असफलता की बात कर रहे थे। आपने बताया कि आपकी शुरुआती बहुत सारी फिल्में और बहुत सारे कलाकारों की फिल्में असफल रही। आप अपने बेटे का करियर कैसे देखते हैं? इन दिनों सच में एक फिल्म फ्लॉप हो जाती है तो बहुत ज़्यादा डिप्रेशन होता है, उसको कैसे हौसला देते हैं और वो क्या सोचते हैं, ये भी मैं जानना चाहता हूँ।
देखिए, उतार चढ़ाव तो ज़िंदगी का, ये तो ज़िंदगी हर कदम एक नई जंग है, जीत जाएंगे अगर आप लोग मेरे साथ। तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि कहीं अगर आपके आसपास आपका परिवार है, आपके दोस्त हैं, तो वो हमारे पहले तो पुराने ज़माने में ये तो साइकेट्रिस्ट वगैरह तो होते नहीं थे, जहाँ अगर आजकल हैं जो आप बात कर सकते हैं, ये कर सकते हैं, और कुछ लोग आते हैं आपसे बात करते हैं, तो हमारा परिवार ही होता था, वो एक किस्म का एक साइकेट्रिस्ट होता था। और आप माँ होती थी, पिता होते थे, भाई होता था, पड़ोसी होता था, मतलब नहीं यार ऐसा होता है, तो वो उनको नहीं कमाओ हो जाएगा फर्स्ट क्लास, क्या प्रॉब्लम है तेरे को, फिर उससे सुनते थे, फिर कभी कभी ऐसा करते थे वैसा करते थे, और जो सही ट्रैक पे आ जाता था। नाउ ऑफ कोर्स थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग, थिंग्स आर बिकमिंग मच मोर टफर, कंपटीशन ज़्यादा है, सोशल मीडिया है, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ negativity which happens on social media, negativity which happens on on all platforms. न्यूज़ खोलो तो क्या क्या चल रहा है, ये चल रहा है, जोर जोर से चिल्ला रहे हैं, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, ये सब चीज़ें हो रहा है, तो देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ नॉइज विच समवेयर कहीं ना कहीं आपके दिमाग का दही कर देता है, यू अंडरस्टैंड। तो वो दही जो उसको जमने नहीं देना चाहिए, उस दही को दिमाग के, एंड मेरी भाषा में झकास भाषा में जब बोल रहा हूँ तो आई फील समवेयर ये सब चीज़ों को अगर आप जैसे मैंने कहा कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव टू कीप ऑन वर्किंग, नॉट गिव टू मच अटेंशन टू दैट एंड टेक द बेस्ट out of all what is written, what is spoken, and if you go through depression, of course there are families there, friends are there, and of course there are certain professionals you can go to and speak to them, talk to them. और अगर फिल्में फ्लॉप होती हैं या किसी की नहीं चलती है, जो होते हैं उनको जो प्रॉब्लम होता है, या कोई जैसे कि कहते हैं कि उनको बड़ा दुख होता है, डिप्रेशन होता है, तो वो टेम्पररी होता है, कभी आप निकल सकते हैं। कोई ना कोई एक है जो, अगर आप में कला है, आप में एक क्षमता है, आप मेहनत कर सकते हैं, आप में वो टैलेंट है, तो वो आपको ढूंढ निकालेगा और आपको काम दूसरा देगा और वो पिक्चर आपकी चल जाएगी। तो यू हैव टू बी पॉजिटिव एंड यू हैव टू बी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक एंड ऑलवेज हैव होप एंड ऑफ कोर्स backed with work. That's what I believe in. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just take the last question.
Hi, Ria.
The last question, please.
Why last year? ऐसा time हो गया। ये last year, हाँ, last was क्या होगा? ये IFFI है भैया, IFFI 2018 है। मानता हूँ तेरे पसंद को, पर खादर मस्का एकदम जाका। अभी पब्लिक गर्म हो रही है। हाँ जी, yeah, please. Yeah.
Sir, my question is to you. You have always maintained a very cordial relationship with everyone in the industry. We have seen that. And the reason every big celeb came to Sonam's wedding was because of your goodwill. Not just came to the wedding, also we saw them had a blast there. So when the reports of you being angry on a particular star for not being invited for a wedding come up, so do you get affected by it or how do you take it?
वो पता नहीं कहाँ से आया वो, मगर मैं जा रहा हूँ फर्स्ट को उनकी रिसेप्शन पे जा रहा हूँ, तो बिल्कुल आपको बिल्कुल ऐसा मुझे लगता है कि पता नहीं किसने डाल दिया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। ठीक है,
थैंक यू।
हेलो सर।
हाँ जी,
हाँ सर, इधर।
सर, लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, आई एम अहमद फ्रॉम बेलगांव, इंजीनियर, राइटर एंड जर्नलिस्ट। मैं आपको उन दोनों से जानता हूँ जब आप बेंगलोर में वो 7 दिन के ज़माने में स्पॉट बॉय से लेके प्रोडक्शन
हम पाँच
हाँ सर, हम पाँच
वो 7 दिन मैं बेंगलोर में था।
हाँ,
मैं हम पाँच में था,
हम पाँच
बेंगलोर में, और फिर मैसूर मेलकोटे में जब मैं स्पॉट बॉय था।
हाँ सर,
तो मैं जब कुछ चाय पिलाता था, उठाता था।
आप पर बहुत सारा आपने बताया, उस जमाने की भी कुछ यादें
वो 1975
थैंक यू सर, लास्ट पर्सन बट नॉट द लीस्ट।
यस या बट आई हैव गुड मेमोरीज अबाउट हम पाँच। वो आई डोंट नो अगर आप लोगों ने किसी ने नाम फिल्म देखी होगी, हम पाँच, मिथुन चक्रवर्ती, अमरीश पुरी साहब, नसरुद्दीन शाह, शबाना आजमी, फैंटास्टिक फिल्म। उसका मैं कास्टिंग डायरेक्टर भी था और प्रोडक्शन में भी था, तो मेमोरीज बहुत कमाल की। बहुत वहाँ बापू साहब जो थे हमारे डायरेक्टर थे, लॉन्ग लिव बापू साहब, मे हिज सोल रेस्ट इन पीस। मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट आज मैं अगर आप लोगों के सामने हूँ, आप लोगों के सामने बैठा हूँ, तो उनकी वजह से। जैसे कि अभी मैंने कह रहा था ना कि कैसे होता है, कभी कभी कोई ऐसा फनकार होता है जो आप में कुछ देखता है, तो वो फनकार, वो टैलेंटेड, वो एक कार्टूनिस्ट, ग्रेट फिल्म मेकर बापू साहब था, जिन्होंने मुझे, जब मैं हम 5 एज अ प्रोडक्शन मैनेजर ही कर रहा था, जब मैं छोटे छोटे काम कर रहा था उस वक्त, तो जब होता था ना कि राज बब्बर का कोई शॉट हो, नसरुद्दीन शाह का, तो उन लोग वहाँ बैठे रहते थे, कभी ब्रेक होता था तो मुझे बोलते थे तू जाके खड़ा हो जाए, तो वो खड़ा हो जाता था, फिर वो कैमरे के थ्रू मुझे देखते थे, और फिर उन्होंने मुझे उस वक्त, तो मैं गिर भी जाता था, पढ़ भी जाता था शॉट के लिए, तो और इंथुजियास्टिक था, तो उन्होंने मेरा पैशन देखा, उन्होंने देखा कि इसमें कुछ बात है, और उन्होंने मुझे एक तेलुगु फिल्म ऑफर की, जो मैंने की, उसका नाम था वंशरक्षम। सो एक्चुअली टेक्निकली मेरी पहली फिल्म एज अ लीड वॉज अ तेलुगु फिल्म विच वॉज डायरेक्टेड बाय बाबू साहब, और वो हम 5 की वजह से हुई, और मैंने उस फिल्म में काम किया, और उसी के रशेज़ मैं बम्बई लेकर आया, वो रशेज़ मैंने शबाना जी को और जावेद साहब को दिखाए, थोड़ा एक बार कहो में मैंने छोटा सा रोल था, और उस रशेज़ को देख के फिर मुझे रमेश सिप्पी जिन्होंने शोले बनाई थी, उन्होंने एक फ़िल्म के लिए मुझे साइन किया, उस फिल्म का नाम था शतरंज, उसमें अमिताभ जी थे, अपना अमजद खान थे और मैं था, द 3 A's, अमिताभ, अमजद खान और अनिल कपूर। बट वो फिल्म बनी नहीं, वो फिल्म बन पड़ गई, मगर जैसे बोलता ना कि मैं हमेशा पॉजिटिव सोचता हूँ, पहले यार अच्छा हो गया नहीं बनी, ये तो ज़बरदस्त है, क्योंकि अमिताभ का रोल तो मैं करने वाला हूँ, तो मैंने जो अमिताभ का रोल था वो मैंने किया, और जो मेरा रोल था वो जावेद जाफरी ने किया, और जो अमजद खान का रोल था वो अमरीश पुरी ने किया। कौन सी फिल्म थी सर? मेरी जान ठकरा।
हाँ सर, हेलो सर।
हाँ जी
सर, मेरा नाम संदीप कुमार है, मैं
हाँ।
एक सिनेमा का शोधार्थी हूँ, और मेरा प्रश्न है सर कि पिछले 105 साल का सिने जगत का, भारतीय सिने जगत का इतिहास रहा, और इस 105 सालों में हिंदी सिनेमा अपने वर्ल्ड सिनेमा में 1 to 100 में कहीं नहीं आता है, एक भी सिनेमा, सिर्फ एक आती है पथेर पंचाली, जो, तो इसके पीछे क्या कारण आपको लगता है कि क्यों 105 सालों के इतिहास में हमारे ऐसी एक भी फिल्म नहीं बनाई जो वर्ल्ड की 1 to 100 फिल्म में आए?
अगले जो 105 साल आने वाले ना, तो हमारा नाम ज़्यादा होगा। हॉलीवुड भी यहाँ आ रहा है। हाँ जी।
Sir, my name is Mamta Desai. I want to ask you one question that can you sing one song? As you said, I like singing.
क्या सुनना चाहते? गाना, फिल्मी गाना सुनना चाहते हैं या सेमी क्लासिकल? मुझको मत रोको, मुझे यार के घर जाने दो, मुझको मत रोको, मुझे यार के घर जाने दो। मेरे से बेहतर, मेरे ख्याल से जितने भी सिंगर हैं वो मेरे से इतने बेहतर हैं। मुझे याद है कर्मा के वक्त सुभाष जी चाहते थे कि मैं वो गाना गाऊं, सैड सॉन्ग नहीं गाना। मैंने बोला मैं क्यों गाऊं जब किशोरदा है, किशोरदा, कि मुझे किशोर कुमार साहब, द जीनियस, द लेजेंडरी सिंगर, द ग्रेटेस्ट, वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट सिंगर्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, अगर वो हैं, वो गाना गा सकते तो मैं क्यों गाऊं? मैं माइक पे गया, मैंने सुभाष जी बोला मैं गाना नहीं बोला, किशोरदा, उनके पाँव पे गिर गया मैं, मिस्टर इंडिया, कर्मा, उन्होंने मेरे लिए गाने गाए, और आज मैं अगर यहाँ हूँ कि उनके अगर गाने नहीं गाता मैं, तो शायद मैं यहाँ नहीं होता। जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीते हो। क्या क्या गाना? काटे नहीं कटते, दिन रात करनी थी तुमसे दिल की बात, लो आज मैं कहता हूँ I love you। थैंक यू। और मेरी बेटी एम्बैरस हो रही है मेरे से, ये एम्बैरस हो रही है, बोलो यार ये भी मेरा जो बाप है पागल हो गया। बस, थैंक यू। Thank you very much. Wonderful. It was great being with you all. Fantastic.